Tonight, Dubai airport bombed, oil supplies hit. The war moves into an explosive new phase. Almost all of Queensland soaked. Tony Auden on what's still to come. Driving towards danger, the furious backpackers who were trapped on a flooded-in bus. The Somerset salty how a croc ended up in this waterway west of Brisbane. Heartbreak for Oscar Piastri, hopes of a hometown F1 victory over before the race even began. And supporting Queensland women, a sea of pink and free coffees on International Women's Day.
Live across Queensland, this is 7 News with Samantha Heathwood.
Good evening. Australians have watched in horror as a drone attack hit Dubai airport. The fighting in the Middle East is worsening on several fronts, with a major oil depot destroyed. The Iranian president is now apologising to neighbours, while Donald Trump remains defiant.
It's coming to the airport.
With Australians among the thousands at Dubai International, Iran strikes.
Oh my God.
Right near the main terminal, war witnessed by shocked passengers inside the building and stuck waiting on planes. Later, safely back in Australia, first-hand accounts of the ordeal.
It was definitely a drone. It looked like a drone and it just exploded. It was around 300 metres away from where we were.
Everyone was telling us to relax and stay calm, which we were. Then we got evacuated.
Seemingly an even worse experience for waiting relatives.
Terrifying. I nearly fainted.
The war intensifying, the attacks on Iran exploding through the night. Here, it looks like driving into the mouth of hell. What locals say is Iran's Sohank oil depot. Now, it's only fueling fear. This, a direct hit on Tehran's airport. Across the city, fireball after fireball. The capital's skyline ablaze.
We're not looking to settle. They'd like to settle. We're not looking to settle.
The US president responding after Iran's president apologised for attacking neighbouring countries. Religious leaders furious, as purported Iranian soldiers claim commanders are dead or have fled like rats. Despite Iran's promise of a regional ceasefire, more attacks on Dubai, an apartment building hit by a missile fragment, and another fragment hitting a car, killing the driver. Iran has also been attacking more targets in neighbouring Iraq. In Israel, Iron Dome continues working around the clock as the war of words ramps up. Israel's Prime Minister with a message to the Iranian people. The moment of truth is approaching. And here in Lebanon, after Israel's hunt for Hezbollah targets, the brutal aftermath of body bags. There are 5 martyrs here, he says, but the number could increase. And indications are it's not about to get better for Lebanon. We're in the border region of northern Israel. Tanks, mobile artillery, howitzers being trucked into position, parked and waiting for the next phase of this assault. All through the region, there is more and more evidence of this. Israel's heavy armour. In Iran, it's all about the air power. Here, it's ground forces. Lebanon is a second front for Israel, their chance to decimate old enemy Hezbollah, while they simultaneously pursue its partner, Iran, and their relentless campaign grinds on.
Live to Chris Reason in Tel Aviv. Chris, Iran says it's ready to fight for months.
Good evening, Sam. The Iran Revolutionary Guard saying today in a bold and rare statement, unverified, but they believe they can continue this campaign of ballistic missile firing for another 6 months, adding that they haven't even started using their advanced long-range systems yet, but their capital is under siege. We've got some new pictures to show you just there. That is burning oil leaking out into the city's drainage system. We now have an environmental war, literally rivers of fire there. Now, this is as it will be difficult to breathe in Tehran as the US and Israeli forces continue their campaign to try and suffocate this Iranian regime. Sam?
Chris Reason, thank you. Australia is seriously considering sending help to Middle Eastern nations facing missile and drone attacks from Iran. Foreign Affairs Minister Penny Wong made the surprise admission this morning, saying the government is working through options now.
Flames ripped through a Kuwait City high-rise minutes after a drone smashed into the building. One strike among many as Iran unleashes its fury on all 6 Gulf states.
You would anticipate as a consequence that we have been asked for assistance, and we will work through that carefully.
The Foreign Affairs Minister confirming a request for Australia to help block Iranian missiles and drones.
We are not participating in offensive action against Iran.
One defence analyst telling 7 News the ADF could send a small number of troops with a short-range surface-to-air missile system, or deploy a wedge-tail early warning aircraft to help plug a new gap in missile defence.
Because the Iranians took out 2 ground-based radars that were operated by the United States that were critical in missile defence operations.
The simple fact the minister revealed the Gulf's request suggests our government is seriously considering options. As well, Penny Wong waved off President Trump's recent demand that he be involved in the selection of Iran's next leader.
The future for Iran is ultimately in the hands of the Iranian people.
Tim Lester, 7 News.
In a stunning attack on a supposed ally, Donald Trump has blasted the UK's Prime Minister for not sending military help soon enough. Live now to Ben Downey. Ben, Trump claims he doesn't need the UK's help anymore.
It's quite extraordinary, Sam. Yes, when the US president heard that Britain was preparing to send an aircraft carrier to the eastern Mediterranean a week into this war, he suggested that the UK was no longer one of America's great allies, launching this extraordinary broadside on Truth Social, writing, "That's okay, Prime Minister Starmer, we don't need them any longer," going on to write, "But we will remember we don't need people joining wars after we've already won," following up in the Oval Office.
Give me the offer to send 2 aircraft carriers. Maybe, but they're not sure. We don't need them. It's not the right time. It would have been nice to have had them 2 weeks ago.
The crew of the HMS Prince of Wales, the flagship of the Royal Navy, has been ordered to be prepared to set sail within 5 days. But despite that, Donald Trump has still knocked it back, but he is, however, still using British RAF bases to launch his B-1 bombers from, however low relations between Westminster and Washington might be. Sam?
Ben Downey, thank you. The bodies of 6 US soldiers killed in a drone strike in the Middle East have been returned home, their coffins saluted by Donald Trump. Today, thousands of Trump supporters rallied, screaming their support for the war and regime change in Iran.
At an Air Force base in Delaware, the price of conflict. The bodies of the first US casualties of this war. 6 soldiers killed in Kuwait by an Iranian drone, brought home.
Glad we paid our respects. It's tough.
The president says he expects to be back there, saluting more American war dead before long, but he's not ready to stop the fighting.
This is a minor excursion, but when this ends, we're going to have a much safer world.
So we're pressing the offensive every single day, creating all the leverage the president needs for the outcome he wants.
The same outcome these people want. Thousands marching through the streets of Washington, hopeful Iran will soon be free.
Well, debate rages here in the United States at a political level about the legality of the strikes ordered by Donald Trump. For the Iranian population living here in America, many of them are grateful that he finally took action.
This brutal mafia-style regime is about to go.
Thank you, Mr. President, from the heart of Iran.
And now, finally, we got help.
But not all agree with the way that help is being delivered.
The war is completely illegal.
A different protest with a different message.
This is not how you bring freedom. This is how you terrorize a community.
181 young girls were killed, and I don't like that.
Asked if America was responsible for that strike on a primary school.
That was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hickson? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating. Because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions.
In Washington, D.C., Rob Scott, 7 News.
The Iranian women's football team will tonight play their final game on Australian soil for the 2026 Asian Cup. To Declan Milton on the Gold Coast. Declan, they don't know what awaits them when they return home.
Sam, there are serious concerns over the players' safety, but there is so much anticipation from the crowd tonight over what the Lionesses will do in their national anthem. As we know, on Monday night, their first match, the players refused to sing it. That was swiftly condemned by Iran's state TV, labelling the players wartime traitors. 3 days later, against the Matildas, a sellout match and a very different story. The players gave a salute and sung the anthem. We know security around the team has been incredibly tight, but speaking to people inside the same hotel as the players, they say the players have been constantly watched and constantly monitored. Today, we spoke to a friend of some of those players.
It's by the minute, it's by the second. I've already started grieving. I don't know when I'm going to see my friends again.
Amnesty International have also joined the growing chorus of people calling on the federal government to offer the players protection visas. Sam.
Declan Milton, thank you. Almost all of Queensland is on flood watch. Two powerful wet weather systems are combining and dumping rain across a huge area. There's concern particularly for towns along the Mary River.
Stranded in Wallumbilla, a line of cars wait to cross the bridge connecting the small town in the Maranoa to Dalby. Some powered through water that locals say rarely comes up this far.
Oh my God, I've never seen it so high.
As two wet weather systems soak almost all of Queensland.
A lot of the state has seen at least double digits in the gauges.
Some triple digits. The drenching has arrived in Brisbane, toppling a tree onto a car at Cleveland, the Ford left crumpled, and bringing more branches down onto a shed in Durack. Southern Queensland is beneath a trough, while the remnants of a tropical low linger in the north.
They're combining to drag a lot of tropical moisture quite a bit further south than it normally makes it into southern Queensland.
The next 24 hours will be just as wet. 200 millimetres more is possible around the Wide Bay. A crane was called into Maryborough.
Don't drop it.
Lifting a pontoon from the rising Mary River.
We need to do this work now because the window closes to safely do it.
The town put on flood watch, not big enough to need a levee, but penstock gates were positioned in the CBD last night.
The penstock gate is like a flood levee below ground to prevent the Mary River flood coming up through the stormwater system into the basements of the Maryborough CBD.
The flood watch is across pretty much every catchment in Queensland apart from those in Cape York Peninsula.
The Premier called an emergency management meeting this morning monitoring a vast area from Condamine, where it's reason to jump for joy, to the cane fields of Proserpine. And just about everywhere in between. Jade Richards, 7 News.
Now to Tony Auden, and which areas can expect the heaviest rain before this all clears?
Well, Sam, as we've heard, that rain is falling across most of the state at the moment, but that area of interest starts to narrow down tomorrow. So right now we can see that rain streaming from our tropical low near Mount Isa all the way down towards the southeast and the east coast. A severe weather warning is current in this yellow area with that risk of flash flooding. Looking ahead, the low and trough hurry to the coast and trigger more heavy rain tomorrow before eventually clearing offshore around midnight tomorrow night. In that time, we could see those further totals of 1, maybe even up to 200 millimetres in the red shades here from the Sunshine Coast up towards Rockhampton and inland towards the Central Highlands and Coalfields. So it's not over yet. Sam, I'll be back soon with the forecast.
Thank you, Tony. Backpackers on a bus trapped by floodwaters in central Queensland claim their safety was put at unnecessary risk. They're demanding compensation from Greyhound Australia after what they call a journey from hell.
In the dead of night, a bus crawls toward danger as the road ahead disappears under floodwater. The driver aborts mission, parking up until the sun rises and with it, water levels.
It quickly sunk in how serious it was.
33 passengers, backpackers, stunned to learn they were stuck between two flooded sections.
We're like boxed in.
All their belongings soaked.
It's surprising why we decided to take a route known for flooding when the known flood was coming.
With 2 kilometres of floodwater almost 2 metres deep, the group had to be rescued, plucked out 2 at a time, a 4-hour operation.
I've been on that bus for so long.
Greyhound Australia put them up in a Bundaberg caravan park for just one night.
We've not really had any apologies, we've not had any empathy from them as a company.
Absolving itself of blame. This disruption was caused by severe weather and flooding. Greyhound Australia is not responsible for costs incurred due to this event. David Hall's story is typical of the passengers, a British tourist making his way up Australia's east coast. His itinerary is now out the window, he's out of pocket and still without luggage.
Everything you've been looking forward to, everything you've paid for is now just gone.
Greyhound Australia has defended its driver's actions, saying the coach was travelling on an undulating section of road and conditions changed.
It's not good enough.
Michael Hammond, 7 News.
Hearts have been broken at Melbourne's Albert Park with Aussie Oscar Piastri crashing out in dramatic fashion. The home Grand Prix curse struck again, and this time Piastri didn't even make it to the start line.
Heartbreak for hometown hero Oscar Piastri.
Oh no.
His redemption arc over before it began, catching everyone off guard.
Oh, Crofty, what's happened to Oscar Piastri?
This is what Albert Park did not want to see.
The 24-year-old crashing out in the first moments of the formation lap.
For the home hero, and a man aiming to become the first Australian to finish on the podium in his home World Championship Grand Prix. This is the start they really didn't want it.
A combination of a couple of things, you know, I think there's a large element of just me. Yeah, it's obviously just disappointing and a scenario that shouldn't be happening.
As he retreated from the track, fans were left shell-shocked.
Absolutely gutted. Tears have been shed. I'm devastated.
It's the Australian curse, I guess.
Oh, I don't even know what to say.
By the time the race ended, it was Mercedes' George Russell on the podium.
And George Russell wins the Australian Grand Prix.
Very nice, very nice.
Alongside young teammate Kimi Antonelli and Ferrari's Charles Leclerc.
We're off and running in 2026.
But the real race for fans began hours earlier. Some too fast, others too furious. Albert Park became an ocean of orange for Oscar.
Oscar's going to win it.
He can, of course, do it. It's Oscar Piastri.
If Oscar wins, I'll do a shoey.
His boss singing a different tune, conceding defeat before the race even began.
You know, I mean, the Mercedes are in a league of their own, so unless they have an issue, I see them finishing 1-2.
While behind pit lane, a man was arrested accused of stealing several event passes. Popularity in Formula One is growing every year. There are now more than 800 million fans around the world, and that love for the sport is certainly on display here at Albert Park, with huge demand to see these drivers.
I'd have a Grand Prix every second weekend somewhere if I could manage it.
Jordan Quinn, 7 News.
It's a very long way from home. Just ahead, the saltwater croc found west of Brisbane. How did it get there? Undercover police surprised teenagers on e-devices at Runaway Bay. Officers rescued as their police car flips. Exclusive pictures. And Harry and Meghan reveal plans to return down under. A southeast Queensland family has made a wild discovery, a 2-metre crocodile living in their dam. The salty was spotted sunbaking on the property near Gatton, and experts warn there could be more.
In a dam on a property between Gatton and Esk, far from croc country.
That's a f***ing crocodile.
2.3 metres long, this salty was living here, possibly for months.
I wasn't that concerned about it because I knew it wouldn't go too far, and I don't hop in the water much at all.
Peter Lyons found it sunbaking in his back paddock at Baraba in the Somerset region, 100 kilometres northwest from Brisbane and more than 400 kilometres from Gladstone, the furthest south these reptiles are supposed to be.
It was quite fat, so Yeah, and we can't understand why it was so fat because we never had much in our dam.
They can go up to a year without eating.
But no one knows how it got there. Croc expert John Lever suspects the salty was dumped after a New South Wales and Victorian ban on keeping crocs as pets.
What do you do with it? They can't sell them now to the advanced keepers. There's a problem looming. There's going to be more and more of these crocs turning up that have been released.
As for where the crocodile will end up, that remains unclear. It was taken north by rangers from Rockhampton.
Peter and his grandkids grateful their prehistoric guest is finding a new home. Rachel Baxter, 7 News.
A Gold Coast teenager is accused of sending terror videos to other children. He's the first child in Queensland to be charged with possessing violent extremist material. The 15-year-old has been on the police radar since his arrest in September for alleged torture and indecent treatment. He's been granted bail and will face court later this month. 2 police officers have been rescued after their patrol car flipped in Adelaide. Witnesses rushed to free the pair who were responding with lights and sirens to an incident. Onlookers say the car struck a curb, then a blue Mazda before flipping onto its side. No one was injured. Prince Harry and wife Meghan are reportedly planning a trip down under within weeks. It's understood the Duke and Duchess of Sussex could visit Sydney and Melbourne midway through next month, more than 7 years after their first Aussie tour. The trip is said to be centred around their businesses and philanthropic work. It's not known whether their children, Archie and Lilibet, will join them. She did everything she could to stop a killer narcissist. Next, the red flags that could have prevented a domestic violence murder. An ex-girlfriend speaks out. 240 kilometres an hour as tornadoes flatten towns. Scans shock medical information sent overseas. Exclusive details. And how the Middle East crisis could be supercharging electric car sales.
Before the Trump Tower, Sir Joe was reaching for the sky.
This is just a phallic symbol.
Big plans for tall towers. Flashback 7 News coming up soon.
The ex-partner of domestic violence murderer Tyrone Thompson says he's sent her dozens of love letters from behind bars. On Seven's investigative podcast, Kiss and Kill, she reveals she tried to raise the alarm before he stabbed his next girlfriend 78 times.
Baby-faced killer narcissist Tyrone Thompson.
He had physically abused her for months and breached an AVO 8 times.
He's now serving 15 and a half years for stabbing 21-year-old Mackenzie Anderson 78 times in a frenzied attack lasting less than 3 minutes.
I am satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that the offender had an intention to kill the deceased.
Now, Thompson's former partner and the mother of his child is speaking publicly for the first time. She's asked not to be identified.
Yeah, he's like Jekyll and Hyde. Like, he's got this really nice nature side to him, but then there's this other side.
They met about 5 years ago. At first, he love-bombed her. After they moved in together, the abuse began.
Starting to pick on me about my appearance, the way I did things.
She tried to end the relationship and he attacked her car with a hammer.
I was just terrified to break it off.
When his attention turned to Mackenzie Anderson, the young woman messaged her asking about his behaviour.
She sent me a photo of 2 black eyes.
Police were called, but while on parole, Thompson broke into Mackenzie's Newcastle home and killed her.
I did everything in my power to stop it from happening.
Tyrone Thompson will be eligible for parole in March 2038, by which stage his daughter will be 18. It's unclear whether he'll return here to the New South Wales Central Coast when he's released. From jail, Thompson has continued contacting his former partner, sending letters and making threats.
I'd probably have to move because, it's very scary thought.
To listen, visit 7news.com.au/kiss and kill. Download on the Listener app or wherever you get your podcasts. Katrina Blowers, 7 News.
Queensland's police union boss has slipped the blue uniform back on to see for himself the pressures facing frontline officers. Shane Pryor joined local crews on patrol in Cairns overnight. He says they're frustrated at courts letting youth offenders off lightly and workload pressures caused by domestic violence.
In order to have a good understanding of what they do, I need to be here, I need to feel it, I need to see it, and I need to work alongside them.
The union boss's next stop is Gracemere, just outside of Rockhampton. A 12-year-old boy is among at least 8 people killed after tornadoes barreled through America's Midwest. The storms, packing wind gusts of more than 240 kilometres an hour, downed trees and power lines and flattened homes in 2 states. The town of Union City, Michigan, was left unrecognisable, homes along the riverfront torn to shreds, with crews trying to reach people under the rubble. There are concerns over patient privacy, with new questions about who's actually reading our hospital scans. As radiology departments face staff shortages and rising demand, some results are being sent overseas.
When a CT scan is done late at night, the images don't always stay in Australia. Because of workforce shortages and after-hours demand, 7 News has been told some hospitals are sending scans overseas for reports, often to the UK, where radiologists are working during the day.
Our preferred option for all radiology reporting is to have locally trained and locally sourced radiologists reporting for that. That is the gold standard.
But that's not always possible.
There is a global workforce shortage of radiologists.
Across the country, health departments confirm outsourcing diagnostics is common practice. Queensland says it doesn't allow offshore reporting, but will send to other states. Others say private providers supplement public capacity, including Western Australia. Adelaide uses a company that has doctors in the UK, Ireland and South Africa. New South Wales too, and claim recruiting local doctors is a challenge.
RANSCA's expectation is that all the outsourced or reports are reported by radiologists who are registered with APRA and are reporting to Australian healthcare and safety and quality standards.
Patient advocates say safety must come first.
If a scan is misreported, then absolutely that can have diabolical outcomes for a patient, and we absolutely should not have a system that allows that to happen, and ensuring that the patient's safety and protection of the patient's privacy is utmost.
There are now calls for more government-funded training to address the critical staff shortage.
If it means that we need to invest in building the workforce, then that's what needs to happen.
Jennifer Beshwati, 7 News.
EV sales soar as petrol prices rise, while the Middle East crisis could cause a car sales boom. That's next. Teens on e-devices busted by undercover police. We have the video. And a sea of pink for International Women's Day. A 13-year-old has unleashed a foul-mouthed spray at undercover police officers after he was busted with an e-scooter he's legally not old enough to ride. The police were dressed in casual clothes and sunglasses as they conducted the operation at Runaway Bay.
What's up?
I've got a lot on you, mate.
Yeah, do ya?
Yeah.
Yeah, what, for an e-scooter?
Yeah, it's illegal, mate.
Oh, is it? Okay. Impounded, bro. Go on, take it. It's e-scooters.
Police are yet to reveal whether they seized the vehicle. As fuel prices climb due to the conflict in the Middle East, Australia's fuel security is also being questioned. Experts say the uncertainty could quickly sway buyers into the EV market, with potential for sales to soar.
As bombs come down in the Middle East, fuel prices are going up. Panic setting in, cars backing up at the Bowser. Warnings of fuel rationing.
The uncertainty around fuel supply has already seen some response at the Bowser on the ground.
The war in oil-rich Iran now supercharging interest in electric vehicles.
I'm getting quite a few phone calls recently. They're worried about not being able to get fuel at any price. It is conceivable that at some point Australia will be struggling with our 34 days of reserves.
I was spending between $500 and $600 a week on petrol. Charging, obviously, you got to pay for electricity. Probably about $100, $150 a week at the most. I'm actually making more money driving a better car each week.
EV sales are surging. last month hitting a record, nearly 12% of all new car sales in the country. In February, leading car seller Toyota down 28% year on year. Meanwhile, BYD up 62%. Zeekr up 560%. Tesla, perhaps unsurprisingly, is the industry leader. The Model Y is the best-selling EV nationwide. Just last month, the company sold more than 3,300 vehicles. It's more than double what they sold in February last year. This all before Middle East oil supplies were disrupted.
Fuel security for the nation is something that's always going to be high on people's minds at times of conflict like this. And that will only increase that evaluation piece for people when they're thinking about buying their next vehicle.
With the war persisting, drivers now setting their sights on electric vehicles. Sam Haberland, 7 News.
Brisbane turned pink this morning as 23,000 people hit the pavement for the International Women's Day Fun Run. Walkers and runners completed a 5-kilometre course from South Bank across the Story Bridge to the City Botanic Gardens. The event raised more than $2 million for women fighting breast cancer. And women have been treated to a free cup of coffee thanks to an Aussie influencer. Kyle Hunt put a tab down at one cafe in every major city.
Waiting for the line. It's very busy. Everyone's out supporting women, so I love to see it.
Queensland women have also been given a cash boost to help them return to work after having children. Eligible mothers can apply for a $5,000 government grant to help pay for things like workwear, childcare, training and technology. Big dreams for big buildings. Decades before the Trump Tower proposal, Sir Joe was reaching for the sky. We look back on the controversial skyscrapers planned for Queensland. That's in Flashback just ahead on 7 News. But first, it's time for sport with Steve.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Good evening, everyone. Coming up, the Lions set to pay a huge price on top of a first-up loss to start their title defence. The Reds on a roll, but controversy reigns in Canberra. Plus 0 from 4. The Dolphins cap a shocking start to the season for Queensland's NRL clubs. And Oscar Piastri wasn't the only big-name Aussie to come a cropper on a day of chaos at Albert Park. The Dolphins couldn't prevent the clean sweep of all 4 Queensland sides. In round 1, the Souths put 40 points on them at Suncorp Stadium. The score flattered Redcliffe. David Fafita starring on debut for the Rabbitohs as Alex Johnston moved closer to Ken Irvine's try-scoring record.
From the trumpets, it was the Rabbitohs heralding.
South Sydney score first.
The Dolphins' first account against the run of play.
Amarillo will go the length.
David Fafita was lining up while his new best mate, Natrell Mitchell, took off. No doubt about the Dolphins' charge.
And it's Fidi Fuiaki.
But 7 minutes from the break, the Rabbitohs let loose, crossing 3 times to open up an 18-point buffer.
211 and counting for Alex Johnston.
Denied the perfect start to the second half, the Dolphins regrouped and surged with back-to-backs.
Tabuai Fido stepping straight through the line.
That's as good as it got for the Peninsula. Mitchell with a double, while 2 late efforts, mere consolation in a 40 points to 30 defeat. Tom Flegler's returned full of frustration, Tom Gilbert, and a superb Fafita, an early shower for their pleasantries.
I was happy with David. I don't know what he got the sin bin for. We've got to be better than 40 points, there's no doubt about that.
In driving rain at Brookvale, new headgear, haircut and hero.
An elegant left foot shot. Oh, he's got it!
Ethan Sanders' golden point dagger in his 5th game, his first since taking over from Manly recruit Jamal Fogarty.
Not too sure what happened just there. I'm still a bit in shock.
Earlier, Sanders' first NRL try looked to have completed the raid, but Manly's second try in a minute by Fogarty and his penalty goal after the siren created the moment for his former number 7 protege.
The kid has won the game!
Kieran Tui, 7 News.
The Reds' hopes for revenge on the Waratahs have been boosted by news of Joseph Suaalii being sidelined for 8 weeks with a hamstring tear. It comes after Queensland's stunning hoodoo breaker in Canberra, a controversial late win that left the undefeated Brumbies boiling.
Severe lightning delayed the Canberra kick-off for close to an hour and a half, a mere prelude to the on-field fireworks, as full time pushed close to 11 p.m. in an epic derby. Queensland's off-season recruit delivered.
The Reds win! They steal it! It's a famous win!
I always believed.
Kiss could afford a wink and a wisecrack. The Brumbies not so amused, giving up 2 tries in the final 2.5 minutes. The lead up to the match winner coming after this.
Oh, it's lost forward. Backwards! Oh, backwards is the call.
A howler by referee Damon Murphy and no TMO interruption.
How have they missed that?
I'm pretty sure you'll find many things that are different. If you want to pull things like that, we just played whatever the whistle was at the time, and that's the game, isn't it?
Kiss refusing to let it tarnish the landmark win. Queensland's first over the Brumbies in 6 matches, first in Canberra in 5 years. An injury-hit side playing a halfback on the wing and a winger in the back row.
To finish the back end of the game like that after all the shenanigans early, I think it was a special effort by the boys.
Now for round 1 revenge on the Tars.
Yeah, it's just another game of footy.
Rowan Welsh, 7 News.
It's been a costly start to the Lions premiership defence, with 4 big guns, including 2 co-captains, set to be sidelined against Sydney. Hugh McCluggage suffered a calf injury in the Bulldogs' loss, while Harris Andrews faces a 3-week ban after being cited, along with Zach Bailey and Darcy Gardner. The Lions' premiership defence began with a bang, just not the type they wanted. Harris Andrews threw his arm back in what looked to be an attempted shepherd, but...
So there's the impact of the backhander from Harris Andrews.
Initial reaction...
That can be accidental too. Was it in a contest?
But he's copped a whack, concussion involved, automatic, 3 weeks. The club yet to decide if it will challenge the ban. Bailey and Gardner are facing a week each for strikes. Up 81-68 at three-quarter time, the Lions just needed to hang on.
They are alive in this, the Dogs. Well and truly alive.
And hard biting, the pain began to set in as the lead changed 5 times in the final quarter.
And Brisbane bite back.
Cam Rayner almost got them there.
Cam Rayner, man for the moment, and the Lions are in front.
The man of the moment was Bulldog Tim English. Speed and dare saw him mark and goal. A rally that saw the Dogs kick 7 of the last 10 goals.
So kicked 7-1 and we kicked 3-7. I'll look at the stats and there's so much green here for us.
The crown might sit on their head, but a night of proof that everyone is coming for it. Oscar Piastri's hopes of winning his home Grand Prix are on hold for another 12 months after crashing out in bizarre and heartbreaking circumstances. Piastri failed to make it to the start line as Mercedes driver George Russell started the F1 season in style.
Absolute disaster half an hour before the race.
Oscar Piastri on the lap to the grid has lost it and sustained significant damage to his car.
A heartbroken Oscar Piastri limping to the pits, not even making it to the starting grid in his home Grand Prix.
We had a bit of an issue out of the pits with no battery. There's a large element of just me. Yeah, it's obviously just disappointing and a scenario that shouldn't be happening.
George Russell was swamped from pole position as Ferrari's Charles Leclerc took the lead by the first turn.
Charles Leclerc leads the Grand Prix from George Russell.
But the field was dropping like flies, the new configurations causing chaos. 5 drivers out of the race inside the first 20 laps. Russell and Leclerc went back and forth fighting for the lead before Mercedes came out on top.
He's not looked like letting it go, and George Russell wins the Australian Grand Prix and starts 2026 in absolute flying fashion.
Made a bad start and then obviously some really tight battles with Charles, so I was really glad to cross the finish line.
A Mercedes 1-2 with Kimi Antonelli second, Leclerc third, Lando Norris fifth. Earlier in the supercars, it was a nightmare for Brock Feeney at the first corner.
Big time trouble. Oh, huge clean-up. He's gone, more damage.
Brodie Kostecki was out in front, avoiding the carnage to win his 3rd race of the week in Melbourne. Tim Hipsley, 7 News.
After 16 years playing for Australia, Elisa Healy received the perfect send-off. Bowling India out for 149 on day 3 in the one-off test in Perth. The Aussies needed only 25 to win the match and multi-format series. The skipper didn't get to bat as Georgia Vole and Phoebe Litchfield easily chased down the target, allowing an emotional Healy a fitting farewell.
what's going on outside. So I guess honestly, it hit me just before that. I don't get to come back into that change room again and be around the girls. But I'm going to enjoy the next little bit and sing the team song one last time.
Australia won the series 8 points to 4. And Sam, our Queensland teams this weekend, just keeping things interesting.
Aren't they? Thank you, Steve. Dreaming big and building big. Next in Flashback, the controversial skyscrapers pitched for the southeast.
And a lot more rain for parts of Queensland before this event is over. I'll have the forecast and latest warnings next.
The proposal for a Trump Tower on the Gold Coast has received mixed reaction, but it's not the first time skyscrapers have created controversy. Tonight in Flashback, remembering Brisbane's pitch to build the world's tallest tower 40 years ago.
We built this city on rock and roll.
Brisbane lacked something, and we felt that this is one way we're going to put Brisbane on the world stage.
A year before Expo took over the south bank of the river, developer John Manuzzo felt Brisbane had an identity crisis, and his answer was Brisbane Central, the world's tallest skyscraper to be built opposite Central Station. They had scale models, and just check out this animation.
The $800 million project will see a 107-storey, 445-metre-high building go up on the site where the old Canberra Hotel is now.
This is today, to me, a very important day because it will, as John said a moment ago, put Queensland and Brisbane particularly on the map.
At that time, Central Plaza was our tallest. The new tower would eclipse that and aimed to overshadow the world's highest, Sears Tower in Chicago, as seen in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
The city looks so peaceful from up here.
Anything is peaceful from 1,353 feet.
But at that altitude, aviation safety was an issue, and the town plan capped building heights.
I have said that I don't like a 107-storey building.
So despite an expensive advertising push, the project was scaled back to 78 storeys. But it got no further than a hole in the ground, even though the Bjelke-Petersen cabinet had signed off approvals.
Happy birthday, dear father.
Many consider it the beginning of the end of Joe's dynasty.
The controversial project did not have approval from Brisbane City Council and would lead to the confrontation with his cabinet.
In '96, another reached for the clouds. The Sky Point on Mount Cootha found more opposition.
This is just a phallic symbol.
If size matters, the Q1 on the Gold Coast grabbed the mantle as Australia's tallest, but that title is under threat. The Trump Tower is aiming for 340 metres.
Their dream of sod turning in August is very doable.
Son Eric's even coming in August to make the Gold Coast great again. So will it be a pipe dream, a gilded monument to excess, or end like Trump's Atlantic City casino 5 years ago?
Weather now, Tony. What's the latest on the rain?
Well, Sam, it's not over yet, and we could see flooding worsening over large parts of the state before skies clear in just over 24 hours. Let's start with what's happening right now. Our tropical low currently sits in the northwest of the state. It's feeding moisture into an upper trough and dragging rain down towards the east coast, including the southeast. Some spots have seen close to 200 millimetres in the past couple of days. A severe weather warning remains current from the northwest of the state down towards the area between Rockhampton and the Sunshine Coast, with heavy rain and flash flooding the main threats. Tomorrow, that low hurries towards the coast, providing a focal point for more heavy rain before it eventually clears offshore and takes that rain with it around midnight tomorrow night. Further totals of well over 100 millimetres are possible in this red swathe here near the Lows Path, especially for the Capricornia, Wide Bay and Burnett regions, and a flood watch remains current right across, well, this area and most of the state. Interstate, a little bit quieter. Sunshine in Adelaide, a forecast top of 27 degrees, but watch for a couple of showers if you're flying down to Sydney tomorrow. Back to northern Queensland, and while the heaviest rain has cleared away, we're looking at a band of storms to sweep through in the afternoon and evening. Over southern districts, the area of heavy rain and storms continues to move towards the coast during the day, with potentially dangerous flash flooding, especially around the Capricornia and Wide Bay in the afternoon and evening. In the southeast, the chance of heavier rain for the Sunshine Coast, then it should get lighter as you head further south, easing to showers with a few more dry breaks down towards the Gold Coast. Staying cool under that cloud, tops of just 24 or 25 degrees right across the metropolitan area, though still pretty muggy tonight. Boaties not great along with the rain. Winds will pick up as well. Strong wind warnings current for Moreton Bay, the Gold and Sunshine Coasts. So in Brisbane, more rain, but it should be lighter than most of today, and I reckon you'll get a few more dry breaks, especially into the afternoon, 21 to potentially just 23 degrees. Looking further ahead, we can look forward to some sunny breaks returning on Tuesday, and any showers should be very short-lived if you get anything at all. 29 degrees, warming up again. In Ipswich, heating up as skies clear, tops of 31 degrees from Tuesday onwards, peaking at 33 on Friday. On the Gold Coast, mostly dry from Tuesday through to Friday, with plenty of those sunny breaks on offer. Looking at a top of 30 degrees on Thursday. And Sunshine Coasters, once the rain clears tomorrow night, still a couple of showers on Tuesday, then mostly dry conditions for the rest of the week. But in the meantime, we still have that bit over 24 hours of potentially heavy rain ahead, guys.
Sounds like no washing tomorrow.
Not quite.
Thanks, Tony. Well, that's all from us this Sunday. Thanks for your company. We'll have updates throughout the evening, but for now, from all the team, have a good night.